Hey gang, I'm Ruthann.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geek Chic Promotions, and tonight we are filming our Nerd Rage a few days ahead of time because we are in 2 different states right now.
That's right, you are in Denver.
I'm in Denver, Colorado for the Denver Pop Culture Con.
That's right.
And you are in Chicago.
That's right, I'm in Chicago for Chicago Comic-Con Revolution.
So we just got home from work, it's a little late, so we're just gonna eat our pizza and drink our wine right here during the show. So cheers, clinkies to you guys as well.
Which, by the way, everyone's going to want to know what kind of pizza we're eating. And I will tell you, it is pepperoni pizza with banana peppers on it.
That's how she rolls.
I just decided to go a little crazy with the peppers. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it, because usually I'm a straight pepperoni gal, but this is how we're doing it.
But you do like these peppers. I know that you've added them to other pizzas, but not usually pepperoni.
Correct.
I know far too much about her.
So today, we are talking about video games and how video game addiction was just classified as an official disease among alcohol addiction, drug addiction, and all sorts of other ones. It's right up there in there with it, classified by the CDC as of yesterday.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not really a judgy person, but I don't see how it equates to the same thing.
And they did have certain qualifications attached to it, which was that it wasn't about how many hours you play. It's about what you sacrifice in order to play. So it's basically, do you shower? Do you eat? Do you not go out of the house ever? And are you avoiding people? Are you missing events? Like things like that, school, you know, whatever your job, because you need to play this video game so much. So that's what they're classifying as the addiction.
So I did, you know who I'm about to talk about. I did date somebody who I was like, you have an addiction, because he literally had to always have a game going, even if he was already playing another game. So he'd be on the computer playing Dota, but he had to be playing another game on his phone. When we were watching movies, he had to be playing a game on his phone.
That's messed
Before
up.
bed, he had to play a game, like in bed, on his phone, playing a game. And I was like, I think you might be addicted. He's like, no, I just need to do it before I go to sleep. I'm like, that's an addiction. If you need to do something so that you can relax, or if you quote unquote need it for something.
It's a little weird. And also, like, honestly, I understand some of this stuff to a point, but I also have to think about, like, what kind of generation is the generation that's falling prey to this? Because I feel like there's different things, like, you know, there's porn addiction, there's all sorts of crap.
Oh yeah.
You know, that you can get addicted to.
Well, and just the virtual reality that is the internet. I can see how these kids, because it is their reality. Like, we grew up without the internet.
Yeah.
So like I can kind of see, like, if you're that young and you have an iPad in front of you, like day one.
Well, and I look at my nephews and they are addicted to Minecraft. Like and when I say addicted, I mean you have to pull them away from it. They play it constantly. They have it on their little game pads, which aren't iPads, they're for kids, whatever they are. Yeah.
They're iPads.
Yeah, but they also play it on their phones and they have it on their laptop or their desktop computers. And I have to wonder, like, do we feed into this because it keeps them occupied and they're doing something?
I think so.
Especially if they can't go out, if it's winter, if it's cold, or whatever the case may be.
Or it's not safe,
it's
like
not safe.
In their neighborhood.
Yeah,
I can see that, because I mean, we are in a society that, I mean, even I feel like our parents and on, there was always a dual income household, pretty much. Like, 2 people had to work.
Sure.
But like, I feel like now, like, the parents have to work several jobs, like not just one, and they're just not home. And so it's an easy distraction. And
I also have to say, and I'm going to pose this question, is if this is taking the place of, like, movies. Because when we were kids and video games were barely invented. Barely. Exactly.
It's very exciting, guys.
And if you
very
don't
exciting
know
time to be alive.
What she was doing,
you are too young.
So, anyway, I have to say, like, if our kids if our parents popped us down as kids, like in front of a TV, or put on a movie, like a Disney movie or something like that, to keep us occupied, and they were like, that's ruining your mind, and, like, you know, music is, that's ruining your mind, and, like, and now it's video games. Is it just one more thing?
I mean, yeah. Because, I mean, video games do give you a lot more problem-solving skills. And, I mean, you do get a lot of skills from video game play. And, like, we've talked about this before on the show, is that, like, these kids today, they're so fast with technology. Like they pick anything up and it's like figured out. Like they can like code, they're done, blah, blah, blah. And it's from like playing games and being very like, I mean, they can't, you know, do cursive, but
they're bringing that back.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, supposedly.
Bringing cursive back.
Yeah. So as Ruth Ann knows, I work with a 23-year-old. Literally,
we're gonna talk about him on the show.
Could be my child. Yeah,
I love it.
He watches this show sometimes. I know he
loves
does.
Chris so much.
All right.
He loves Chris so much. It makes me so happy because I've never met him yet.
He okay, so he is what we call a zennial, I think, because he's 23. And he actually, and I work at a video game company, so in case nobody knows that.
A mobile game app.
A mobile game app, you know,
Company.
they have lots of mobile games, not just one. And so his life trajectory has been, he played a lot of video games, and when he went to college, he basically majored in something that was like, I don't know, political science or something like that, where you like, basically his goal, because there's no major for video games, obviously.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And, I bet there will be soon.
Probably. Just like there was no degree for comic books when I was in college, and so I majored in illustration and fiction writing because I kind of like melded the two together.
Comic books, right?
Right. So basically, right out of college, he has interned at like Bandai and like a whole bunch of stuff, and so now he is with us. Looking, you know, to get job experience. He's basically a community manager, so he does a lot of social media stuff. I talked to him, and honestly, he is a whiz at everything tech related to games. He knows exactly how to grow social media platforms. He knows about how to do Instagram, Facebook, don't bother. Like literally, he's got everything mapped out.
Yeah.
He runs a Twitch stream, which he gets like $500 a month off of, and it's just something he does for fun. Playing video games live, he's got followers that like are wholehearted into it. And I think to myself, like, is this kind of a thing? Which, by the way, like since he's entry level, video games companies are coming after him, like for jobs. They're just like, oh yeah, we need you, because they want young, fresh blood who are innovative and know their way around tech.
And social media,
who they can train exactly the way they want to train. So it's not like you're set in your ways and you're old and you've had all this experience. Yeah, you know, you're in your 30s. You know, So anyway, and so I have to wonder if we're kind of like feeding into the whole video game addiction, because literally that's what he did, was play video games his whole life, and he's like, I could do this for a living, and now he's working at a video game company.
Yeah, there are kids now that can be like, I want to be a professional video gamer, and you've got to be like, that is a career right now.
I mean, it didn't used to be, but it sure is now. It's not just like making the video game. Like, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to code. Like, the amount of jobs that we have available at our video game company, you know, it varies like vastly. Like, I'm in events and I'm working there. You know, it's like, you know, you go to conventions and you do that stuff, and you know, there's merch, there's promo, there's branding, there's like there's
esports is huge. I mean, the fact that ESPN is showing esports is crazy. But I mean, it's been huge for a while. It took America a little bit to catch up. But
that's exactly right.
It is great that there's so many ways for these kids to make money on the side. You know, because like I had to bartend at 18. Like there was nothing else I could really do. I was like, I'm gonna bartend and like make some side cash, or actually all my cash.
I mean, but like. Okay, well, I don't recommend that.
Don't do what I did, kids. Go to real college.
I don't recommend that. But I have to say, like, there's a certain, okay, this is what I used to say. Okay, so full disclosure, I was married before, and he was an avid gamer. Okay, and he did SOCOM. So I don't know if any the kids know what SOCOM is these days, but anyway, that was like the beginning of like a lot of games like Fortnite and stuff. Yeah. And so
he was one of the first multiplayer games.
Right, it was multiplayer that you connected online to, and everything else. And anyway, he made kind of a side business out of it as well. But the thing is that he played it so often that like basically anytime he had free time, it was him waiting to play the game. Like even if like he was with me, I could tell he was just itching to get back to the game, which was seriously annoying. And sometimes I would wake up in the morning, And I would walk out living room and he'd be just like asleep sitting upright in his chair with the controller in his hands, and his like player would just be sitting there like dancing, you know, like waiting for him to wake up.
It's like, okay, relationships, everybody needs to have their interests, but the interest shouldn't interfere with the relationship.
Exactly.
And like, cause I fully support if I'm dating somebody who plays games, like sure, but like, I feel like an hour a day is good for something like that, like movie watching or video game, you know what I mean?
People who defended that told me, well, you know, he could be out drinking at bars, or he could be out doing something else.
How is that equated?
Like, at least he's at home and like in your house and safe and with you, and it's like,
that's some old school shit of like, well, you got a man, just be happy.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
kind of feel that way, but also I kind of got that because I'm like, well, I guess I'd rather have him here playing his game than out like drinking with his buddies every freaking night. But do I really gotta choose between those two things?
What kind of choice is that?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't got that now. He doesn't play video games. He could.
He could.
He's got a PlayStation.
He does.
Yeah, we're too busy, guys. We're too freaking busy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's a tough thing because
I can't even find time to read the comics I want to read.
I know. I've given
And those
you
are
second
only
guess.
a couple pages, guys. Literally, I come home, I eat dinner, I sit down, and it's like 9:30, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, I'm tired. I just want to watch some TV and zone out and fall asleep to it, and I do, and I'm literally asleep by 10.
Yeah.
You know, and I wake up at 6, so it's like I like to get my 8 hours of sleep. So maybe
Yeah.
that's where I'm going wrong, is that I'm not shorting myself on sleep.
Yeah.
But
I
don't know. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It is. People do get weirded out that I don't play because I love the social aspect of gameplay. Like I like when people are over and like I'll just put on a fighting game and have everybody like play. Like I'm terrible at it, but I love that. You know, I just don't think I could. What's funny is I'm totally fine binge watching some Netflix when I'm feeling gross. Like I can do that, but like there's something about video game play alone because it's something that's an activity, but I'm like doing it alone. I know I'm doing it online with people or whatever, but like I don't know, it just doesn't. I guess we're just the
well,
wrong
is that kind of
personality for
like
it.
drinking alone but being on the phone with someone? Does that make it okay? Well, and also I do play. I play the mobile game that I work on. So,
Yeah.
you know, I play Summoner's War quite a bit. I play every day, as a matter of fact. Like, and I sit there.
I also remember when Pokemon Go first came out.
Yes, I played Pokemon Go.
I played that a lot.
Yeah, that ended though.
That ended. Well, you went. It ended
burn
at the same
out.
time. Well, you.
I
It
burn
ended
out.
at
I
the
go
same time.
hardcore for like 3 months, and I'm like, man,
So did the
I'm
rest of
done.
the world. With
Yeah,
that. Like,
I
they're
know.
like,
I'm dead.
"Wow," and then 3
Yeah.
months later, what game?
Yeah, exactly. So, but right now I've been playing Summoner's War for like 7 months, and I do play it every morning because you get rewards if you log in daily, and they're called daily missions. And when you complete them, you get like in-game prizes. Now,
I tried playing this game, guys. I did.
yeah,
I had
mean,
the character.
Yeah, it's
Ninjaroo.
It's one of
probably?
those things where I'm not gonna say what my game name is. I don't want people to find me, but that's how Andy found it.
Andy, no.
Anyway, I have to wonder if things like that, which promote gameplay on a daily basis, like Hertz, or like I get that they want you to play. Like, sure, I'm sure any gaming company would be like, we want kids addicted. Like that.
Oh
is-
yeah, especially a mobile app because it's free. So like play.
Yeah, and you buy your in-game stuff, and like people spend literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on in-game stuff that you can buy to level up your characters. Now, I don't do that, mind you, but
I kind of feel like there's so much disposable income around video
Yeah.
games, and I have none of it. Is
Yeah.
that what happens? Is that you start playing and then you start making $500 a month, and then you just spend that $500 a month back
it's
on
that.
games?
Okay, so this is really crazy. A few of the people that I work with, okay, you can look up how much you've spent, by the way. Like you can log in. Like I don't know if the average player can do this, but working at the company, we can do this. We can log in and see how much people have put into this game and how much they've purchased because there's records of that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you don't want your account to get hacked or stolen by someone, the easiest way to do that is to purchase something so that we can track it and find you and get your account back.
Oh, tricky. Hey guys.
Yeah.
So you to keep your account safe, make sure to purchase things.
It's true.
Smart.
And so I did purchase a $3.99 thing. Like I think overall I've spent less than $20 on in-game
And
stuff.
you've been playing this for at least a year,
close
not
to a year
more.
now. Yeah, close to a year. But a couple people that we work with have spent about 10 grand or so. Yeah, I know. It's
Sorry,
shocking.
that was almost a spit
But
take.
you're also talking about people who are making pretty much like minimum wage. So it's not like Like they're living.
That's even more shocking.
Yeah, like they're young and they're living at home, and so they have this disposable income. Weirdly enough, and they're spending it on the video game, and it's just it kind of like I don't number one I don't understand why, but when I asked one of my coworkers why they would spend that much money, they were like, "Well, I'm supporting the company I work for," and I said, "No, you're working for free."
Yeah, at this point, you're literally working for free.
Like you're taking the money they pay you and you're putting it back in. And so they had this warped idea that they were literally keeping the game alive that they were working on by spending that money on it. They're like, we're supporting the company and supporting the game that we love.
I mean, they are, but
they're
also
working for free. And as soon as I said that, they stared at me like I grew a second head. They were like, or like in Andy's case, like he never considered it in that way, but like the other guy was just like, I don't believe that. He's like,
I kind of feel like these are the type of people that are tricked by pyramid schemes. They're like, I don't understand. It just starts at the top and it trickles down.
Or that's like that's what addiction is, and you find reasons to tell yourself that you're not addicted and that you're not spending this money.
Maybe it's a real.
I mean, it's not just like time that you're spending on this. People are spending money. I mean,
yeah, I can see because
it's
especially
almost like gambling.
Yeah.
Which also is an addiction.
Yes, ding dong. I mean, yeah, brain chemistry is a funny thing because it probably playing these games is altering your brain chemistry because you're getting certain like stimuli, right? And so yeah, I guess you could be addicted to that. I'm changing my mind as we talk about this.
Well.
That's crazy. I mean, there's no such thing as some people are talking about like movie and TV addiction, especially with streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus on the way.
That's how binge watching became a thing. It's like binging obviously is not a good term, but now it's become so familiar to us.
Yeah, it's totally healthy.
And it's not healthy to spend 8 hours binge watching something all in one day, but yet we do it. I mean, and
we do.
That's not classified as an addiction.
Definitely have my.
I mean, I have to say, it's like, I'm concerned, I guess, that this is a slippery slope. And that, like, if they're going to classify this as an addiction, along with everything else now that's in there, is movies going to be next? Is TV
I was just about to say, binge watching is definitely going to be next.
I mean, which I'm not cool with.
I'm not cool with being judged cool like that.
Like
I don't have an addiction.
I already get judged by Netflix. Like, are you still watching?
Yes, I'm still watching.
Yeah.
God.
Although Netflix's algorithm pisses me off in general because I don't like when everything autoplays as soon as you log on. All those trailers.
Oh, that gets me so heated. I literally mute when I'm trying to figure out what to watch. I just mute my TV.
So distracting.
Because it's like bah, bah, bah. I'm like, no.
As a matter of fact, just pisses me off. So stop. Like, just stop.
There should be an option to be like no sound. I guess that's what the mute button's for. But I'm just saying.
Not no sound. It should be don't autoplay.
Yeah, don't autoplay.
Don't autoplay this shit. Like,
yeah, let me click on it if I want to watch it.
Yeah, and if it looks interesting to me, I'll do it. But so I finally, guys. Okay, so over this holiday weekend, finally finished watching Sabrina. Finally started Lucifer. Ugh.
Don't spoil it for her, guys. I've worked very hard not to spoil it for her.
I'm at the 5th episode, which is halfway through the season, right? And so, of course, while I was watching Sabrina and Lucifer, several times the "Are you still watching?" popped up. Okay, one day, Memorial Day, I spent here on that couch watching on that TV.
Bam.
What I wanted because I had a very full weekend.
Yes, you did.
And
I was there
like
for most of it.
That for one damn
Give me one damn day
where I don't feel like a damn addict laying on my couch binge watching a show I want to do. And I guess the definition of an addict is that you do it all the time. I mean, which we don't.
We don't.
We got jobs.
We got jobs. We got lives.
We're stable people.
She is.
But also. I usually do it when no one's home, which is also...
So I have this weird thing. That's the only time I watch anime. Like, I don't... It's so weird when somebody wants to watch anime with a gun. I'm like, but that's my time.
Exactly. It's like,
that's my time.
Yeah.
Because you're going to judge me.
I think, like, Marcus came out of his office, like, a couple times. He's like, what you watching? The first one I was like, oh, Sabrina. And he was like, oh. And he just walked back in. The second time I waited, he had a meeting, and so he left, and that's when I was like, Lucifer.
And then to get my Lucifer
right
on.
And he came home, like, he came home later, and he was like, what is this? And it was halfway through the 4th episode. I had to freaking pause it, and I was like, I'm not explaining this to you.
I'm explaining this to you. This is my show.
Yeah,
you
is
can
my
sit
show.
quietly.
This is
get
it.
the fuck out.
Yeah, and then he was like, let's watch a movie. I was like, I'm in the middle of
Excuse
my
me.
episode.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You can't just barge in here
what?
and make me end an episode in the
Right?
middle episode.
Right? I'm like, you're gonna have to wait. And so he just sat there on the couch scrolling on his phone as like I watched the last 20 minutes of my
Just
episode.
huffy.
I know. I was like, what?
Come on, man. It's
Anyway.
like that because we've talked about this before. If you have a roommate and they want to talk to you, but it seems to be only while the episode is playing, and you're like, pause.
Yes.
And then you just get more and more like each time that they fucking
This is
keep
why,
talking to
by
you.
the way, I'm surprised we managed to make it through Game of Thrones together because
But we do it. We talk. All right, we do talk during Game of Thrones, but it's not like full set. It's like we just do like the like that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
like
yes,
no,
we're
she
like,
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. And when Marcus talks, it'll always be like for instance, when we're watching Barry, okay, and the guy who plays Barry, who's Bill Hader, okay, was on there. He'll turn to me, and it won't be a comment about what we're watching. He'll be like, remember that podcast Bill Hader was on where he
Right.
said blah, blah, blah? And he'll like repeat the entire part of the podcast while we're in the middle of watching the goddamn
watching
episode.
my
And I'm like,
stories.
I have to rewind now 5 minutes because I've missed everything. And he thinks nothing of it. Nothing of it. He's just like, I'm gonna murder you. Oh, God. Anyway, I feel like we've gone way off track.
us do that. No.
So addiction.
So video game addiction, guys. I think we kind of come full circle and like, yes, but it is a slippery slope to like, I'm addicted to sitting. It's like, no, you're just lazy. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
There has to be a better, like, I almost want it to be like a brain, like there needs to be some sort of brain scan that shows it. Like, cause even just,
I agree. And I also think, like, by the way, if you're playing video games and you realize that you've been playing it the entire weekend and you haven't showered and you haven't answered your phone and you haven't talked to anyone, that perhaps if that's happening on a regular basis, you need to think about things.
well, yeah, that's when it gets tricky, right? Is because I equate that to depression, not addiction. Do you know what I mean?
But if someone's not feeling depressed and they're actually excited to be playing that damn video game, you know, you don't have to be depressed.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's a whole different story. I feel like if you're depressed, that's when people get concerned about you because it's not just you not wanting to get out of bed and not wanting to get dressed or showered or do anything with anyone. This is like, I'm up because I need to play that video game and I'm excited. I'm getting online and I'm gonna beat their asses and like
I'm gonna yell at some 12-year-olds
and suddenly
real quick.
like 2 days have gone by and you don't even know it because you've been so engrossed in this game and you have to finish it. You have to get to the next level and you have to beat that kid that's annoying you.
that little shit from
Right?
Iowa.
Yeah, and it's like, and it becomes like an obsessive thing where it's like you have to do this every day, and you know, and I see that with a lot of kids in their 20s right now. Like, you know, honestly,
But I do see it. It's like we're talking about a lot of societal stuff of
you guys,
know.
that 23-year-old doesn't know who Barbara Streisand
I know
is.
we talked about this.
He didn't know
What
what
was the
Army
other
of
one?
Darkness was. Like, I name
I'm
off
ashamed.
like famous movie stars, and he has no freaking clue who they are.
Well, and we're about to go on another tangent because we've talked about this
it's because he
before.
plays video games the whole time.
Well, no, because just the society that we're in right now is so much faster. You know, because like I know references from before I was born. You know what I mean? Because like
I feel
thought,
like we all do, like,
but
don't
not
we?
not these kids. They
Like,
know.
what the hell?
Like, I mean, one of my friends posted the gif of Christopher Walken. I'm like any other man, put my pants on one leg at a time, and I go out and make a gold record. And they were like, "Oh, real full of yourself, huh?" And he's like, "What have? Don't you know what this is reference of? Oh, it speaks for itself." No, know. Wait, do you know what Saturday Night Live is? Do you know who any of these people are?
They don't watch TV.
Don't.
They don't watch TV.
Well, even if they like, I mean, yeah, the
No,
TV they
I'll
watch.
be
That's,
honest,
that's
they
also
don't.
true. They don't watch TV.
They watch no TV and they don't go see movies because their time is spent on video games.
But also like the memes.
I'm not. This
Comes
isn't
so
all
quickly.
20-year-olds, by the way. We're
Oh,
just
yeah, to be fair.
referencing like a
Average.
generational thing on the average. Yeah.
Cause like, well, I was telling you guys about this the other night, where it was just like that. Those fucking Shaggy memes started with like Shaggy being super powerful, and I was like, the fuck is? I was off the line for like 3 hours. What happened, internet? And I had to like Google it, and I was like, oh, there's a video game, a fight game that wants to add Shaggy.
Well,
But it was just like I was so lost, and it's like, and then it was over, done, it was gone.
Yeah,
like nobody talked about it anymore. It was like they're just so so fast paced now.
I literally am making a list of things that like this 23-year-old needs to know, like because I'm like it's gonna be lost, and at least I can do my part and pass on my knowledge.
That's a good point. But like the other day,
I literally was like, you need to watch Army of Darkness. He had no idea what
There's
it was.
just such-
Ash versus Evil. Like he had no freaking clue, and I was like, okay, this is on the list. And watching Barbara Streisand, just one movie. We can pick one.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We'll just watch that and put that on the list. So at least you know who the heck she is when people mention her in reference. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like things like that where
and that's the thing too, is that a lot of the movies that we grew up with had a lot, because I feel like the last movies to do this, and they weren't really my favorite because I felt like it went too cheesy, were the scary movies, right? Because they kept referencing older stuff. And like Airplane did that, and all those other like movies used to do that. I feel like that was the end of that, because like there are so many references I learned by it being in a movie or TV show from when I was a kid that was from before I was born, but then I'd go back and see what that was from, you know, because like there's not a time that somebody will say, I got you, babe, and I won't go, dun, 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 and I did that once, and somebody's like, I don't know.
we asked him if he knew who Sonny and Cher was, by the way, and
He didn't know.
he did, luckily.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh my God. 1 point for you, Andy. One point.
I know. He's gonna watch this and be embarrassed.
I know. Well, I love, you know what this episode turned into? Like, let's Ruthann and Chris get crotchety and complain about these kids these days.
know.
They just won't get off my line and talk about
True.
memes.
I mean, he could be my child, and I was like, if you were my freaking child, you would know all of this stuff.
Come on.
Like, your parents are failing you. That's how I felt.
I really hope you told them
Which
that.
is, I did, but
Just
of
like,
course,
give me your phone.
you guys, it was
Andy's
like,
mom.
by the way,
Ruined it.
not appropriate because his parents are from China. They live in Singapore. So,
Of course they don't know anything about this.
Which is, but he's Americanized. So I was like,
But how long has he been in America?
since he was like 10.
Oh, I thought you were saying that like he was...
No. I mean, his parents don't know much about the culture, but like I feel like he's been here long enough where if you just go outside of video games for a second, yeah, now I'm really sounding old. But luckily, he has me to guide him, which I shall. And at least one
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
20-something will have knowledge of pop culture, and I'll be able to like and move on my way.
Yeah, just like
Move on to
Mary
the next
Poppins.
one.
Mary Poppins, she just
Right?
disappears into the...
All right, and that's all we got time for,
All
guys.
right. Oh, guys, love you. Unfortunately, let's see, the weekend after you're out of town.
Yes, I am.
So next weekend she's gonna be out of town. I'm gonna find a guest to do the show with because she needs a break.
Yes.
Because she like flies in
I'll be in
Friday
Vegas.
night and then
Yeah.
has another job to do. So
Yes.
we'll figure something out to hang out with you guys next week.
Yep.
But love you guys.
Yep.
Come see me in Denver or see her in Chicago. Do
Yep.
it.
All right. We'll
It's
see you
gonna be
guys.
it's actually my birthday today.
Oh, that's right. It is her birthday today.
It's my birthday today.
Birthday.
Thanks, friend.
Aw. All right, guys. We'll see you next
All
time.
right, see you next time.